Okay, so Cubby today Cubby gets some attention. It was leaking a lot of oil because this bolt snapped and I can't extract it efficiently. Well, not efficiently enough for something that I didn't pay much for. So we just slapped a bunch of RTV in there and let it dry out. Topped her back off. It was like a quart low, which is a lot for a lawnmower engine. Probably why it was getting so warm cutting the lawn yesterday. So I decided we'll pull the deck off, sharpen the blades up, power wash some things off, and maybe give it another coat of paint. This one's pretty gnarly. There's some pretty gross welds when I first put the seat in a rush. You can see all the spatter in there. Because I put flux core wire in the welder because I didn't have gas. So I just switched out, put the flux stuff in. Didn't have time to go to the store, and I forgot to swap the polarity. So it really welded like crap. I mean, it's functional, it keeps the seat on. Today, getting ghetto, went ahead and squared it up. So added a piece here, added the diagonal so it doesn't wiggle all around, and made our super redneck standoff so it's not rubbing on the metal anymore. So this will keep it square enough, it'll keep it propped up, so that gives us the opportunity to put some more paint down. I'm not going to be too wild and like take everything apart. I'm just going to power wash it off, scuff this the best I can, and I got some brush on that we'll do and just leave it out in the sun. We're just trying to keep it we'll do a nicer job on the car. Let's put it that way. And I've got the proper cream color for the white areas, so we'll probably do those as well and pull the deck off, grease up the spindles, just check everything out, sharpen the blades. To give a little time. The more deserves it. It's been a while. We also need to, I put new linkage on and it still didn't work right, so I extended the reverse and it still works like crap. So maybe we'll take this apart and we'll look at the linkages a little bit, because it would be nice to have reverse. Like I replaced bushings and stuff. Something in there's bent and screwed up. There's it attaches up here to a single point, so it's really tempting to cut a hole in that and just make a hand lever for it, but then it might be hard to hold the beer while I'm cutting the grass. Okay, so my buddy Steve stopped in with his new lawnmower. We had to weld a crack in the deck, and I got a coat of the International white instead of just white, like super white like I had on before. So I had to do another coat on these parts because we wanted to look at the linkages, because it has the typical no reverse horse trap. So pulled the blades off and sharpened them, so those are doing nice. But you can see, so here's forward, right, and it uses, there's that lever there. So if I push the pedal, you can kind of, I see both of them like that. So forward, right, it does forward, and when you go in reverse, it doesn't move that at all because everything's so sloppy. And then it goes, so it does go, but that's way too low for the deck. And I already one time, when I had the wrong, no gas, it was gross, I cut this and extended it an inch, and it kind of gave it a half-ass reverse. Everything up here is super sloppy. I replaced the bushings, but everything's just wallered out, and it's not worth it's not really worth fixing the right way. So I think what we're gonna do is chop this back off again and make it like just way longer, like way longer. Then we can just force feed it reverse when we need it, instead of having to, what I do now is I'll push down reverse and I pull up on this, because really this is the only pedal that does anything. That's forward, this is reverse, and it's this guy having trouble force feeding it in the other direction. So yeah, I'll just extend it out, doesn't matter. Power washer worked great. I fixed the soap pickup. Yeah, it was a really productive day. It's hot as snot out. I'm just fucking tired. So yeah, we'll let this paint cure up, probably give it another coat in the morning. These I painted outside and they got grass and junk all over them. They need a second coat anyway, so we'll pick out the grass and get another coat on. But yeah, so it's gonna look pretty good. Just gotta figure out what to do about the headlights. They work, but there's no cover. Okay, next morning I just put a second coat on everything. Leave these here in the garage, let them dry up enough to get back on the tractor this afternoon, I hope. If they're just a little tacky, you'll have to be careful when we put them on, but it'd be nice to get them out of the way and get that floor in this afternoon. So in the meantime, do some bathroom work. As much fun as that'll be, it's going to be 90 something today, and I'm going to have to crawl up in the attic to do that vent, so drink a lot of water. Yeah, so I was looking at this more, and extending this more isn't going to help me because it contacts right there in the back. It touches, so yeah, I'm just going to have to pull on on the forward lever when I need to go in reverse. And really the only time I reverse it is if I run into something by mistake or when I put it in the shed. I mow the whole yard just going forward. It's slightly annoying, but one day I'll just get a nicer mower. Until then, this thing runs great, and we're gonna put its painted stuff back on soon. So I have a little garage space, get it out of the way, and we can pull that axle apart and start trying out the sandblasting kit. It's getting there. That paint's still pretty sticky. I scraped part of the front trying to put the hood on. I just can't let it sit in the garage for 2 days while it dries. So yeah, better than it was. She certainly looked worse in her life. When I picked it up from my buddy, he bought it off someone to restore himself, but didn't have the time, and it clearly spent most of its life sitting outside in the rain not running, because both the floor pan and the seat pan were almost completely bare and just covered in surface rust. So yeah, it's come a long way, and it's a reliable little tractor. So I think either went on too thick or just got too humid. You can see here wrinkling up a bit. So we'll just let that cure up, and then maybe we'll do a little work on paint this winter, because this last winter I only used the snow thrower on it once. It just doesn't snow enough, so it's a bit overkill, and it ends up just sitting in the shed. So that might be a good time, especially if the car's out of the way, to do the rest of the lawn tractor and make her look even better. There we go. Seat's back on. The little pads are back on. It's looking, the further back I get, the better it looks. So did a little bit of reading. This tractor paint goes on thick anyway, so you get that wrinkling either from being too thick, the top dries too fast, and the bottom doesn't, so it wrinkles. It can also wrinkle because the humidity is high, so not only did we put it on really thick, but the humidity got really high. So too bad, so sad. It's still better than it was.